All right, gentlemen, pop quiz. Who out there knows the connection between Bo Jackson and Jason Voorhees? Now, yes, both these guys in the late 1980s dominated their fields. Bo Jackson was a star two-sport athlete, winning the Heisman Trophy while at Auburn, then getting drafted to play professional baseball and played professional football for the Los Angeles Raiders. Yeah, does anyone else remember him running over Brian Bosworth Monday Night Football? And then there's Jason from Friday the 13th, striking fear in the heart of millions. Seriously, my favorite in that series has to be Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I still find the scene when he shows what's under the mask and that gang runs off hilarious. But getting back to the question, what is the connection between Bo Jackson and Jason? Well, it turns out for Bo Jackson, Jason was an inspiration. This was his alter ego on the football field. You see, early in Bo's career, he was very emotional. He couldn't keep his rage and anger in check. And this would lead to penalties. This would lead to mistakes on the football field. So in Bo's own words, he solved this by whenever he stepped on the gridiron, he became Jason. All of a sudden, he was emotionless. He was a killer. He was a destroyer. He was there to take souls. Suddenly, the hot-headed, easy-to-provoke, penalty-prone Bo was gone. All that was left on that field was someone you did not want to mess with. So how can that information help you look more confident? Because guess what, gents? Anybody can use the alter ego effect. In a nutshell, if you find something difficult to do, imagine that you are somebody else and then try doing it. If you have trouble talking to a beautiful woman, imagine you are Ryan Gosling. What would he do? How would he act? Just go ahead and play him, and that's your alter ego. Or maybe you've got to get up on stage and give a presentation to your boss's boss, to the entire company. You're getting on a Zoom meeting with somebody really important. Okay, how would Don Draper handle this? All of a sudden, you become Don. You go in there and you crush it. Now, of course, you got to be prepared. Of course, you've got to have the skills. Of course, you got to know what you're talking about. But if you've got those things, sometimes it's just the way we feel. And by using an alter ego, boom, all of a sudden you could look and feel more confident. Now, was that first rule the number one rule? No, but it was darn close. And I love the idea of the alter ego. I know I've used it. The next rule to look more confident: call out that inner critic. I'm talking about fear. Any of you guys ever seen the movie Inside Out? Yes, I have watched that even without my kids. Awesome movie. And one of my favorite parts is they actually give faces and personalities to some of our base feelings. So think about that. When you're hearing from that inner critic, fear is whispering in your ear, you're not good enough. You don't have the ability. You can't do this. You can turn around and maybe not, in front of other people, but look at that. Who is saying this? And under normal circumstances, when you listen to this scaredy cat, this fearful person that actually has your best interests at mind, but this person is scared to do anything. And you understand, I see where you're coming from, but I'm not going to listen to you and I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take a chance here. Because seriously, what's the worst that can happen? Lay it out. And if you're okay with that risk, then go for it. All that being said, gents, sometimes the worst does happen. And that's why I'm proud to bring you today's sponsor, Fabric by Gerber Life. Now, gents, Fabric was designed by parents for parents to help you get surprisingly affordable term life insurance. In less than 10 minutes, you can apply, you can see your quote, and then personalize your quote to fit your family's needs. And you could be offered coverage instantly with no health exam required. Now, one of the things a lot of people don't like about life insurance is that it's complicated. What I love about Fabric is they make it easy. Seriously, the application process is simple, it's intuitive, and again, you can get through it all in about 10 minutes. These guys have partnered with Gerber Life. Gerber Life has been trusted by millions of families like yours for over 50 years. And if you want to see the reviews, well, go check them out. They've got over 1,600 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. They've also got a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can cancel at any time. And on top of that affordable term life insurance, they've also got wills, access to college savings funds, and more, all in an easy online experience. Gents, I know personally, for me, one of the things that gives me confidence is knowing if something were to happen to me, my family is taken care of with term life insurance. So gents, don't put it off. Don't wait for something to happen. Protect your family today. Go to meetfabric.com/RMRS and apply today in just 10 minutes, risk-free. Again, that's MEET fabric.com/RMRS. Now, another powerful rule: to look more confident, to feel better about yourself when you're up on stage, when you are in a high pressure situation, is to use gestures. Now, I was overdoing it a little bit there with my hands, but if you watch my videos, I try to move my hands and to use them. Any type of gesture that you can use with your body is going to help you better convey information. Now, the basic rule is to keep it within the box. And the box is important because if your gestures are going all over the place, you're going to come off like a crazy person. But if you keep it within the box, if you keep basic hand movements, you're pointing, you're using numbers, you're giving people an idea of this versus that. These are very powerful gestures that help people better understand what you're saying, and they assume, therefore, you are more confident, that you are more competent. Now, what are some common gestures that you can use? Well, notice what I'm doing with my hands right here. It looks like I'm praying, but what I'm doing is I'm bringing the fingers and hands together. This right here, basically zero in on a point. You can also do the whole steeple when you're talking. And this is great for people that don't know what to do with their hands when they're speaking. But again, keep it within the box. Another easy one is you're just starting off the presentation, you start rubbing your hands together like this. What does that mean? Oh, this is going to be good. You're getting them excited for what you're about to say. Now, what if you want to come off as endearing? You want to form a connection. You want to show people that you actually care. Put your hand on your heart when you're speaking. This right here is emphasizing that you have empathy, that you understand them. Good job. Wait a minute. This or that. There's tons of options at your disposal. But whenever you're going to give a presentation, whenever you're going to speak with anyone, again, don't overdo it, but don't be afraid to interject one or two motions with your hands. It's going to draw them in. It's going to make you come off as more confident. Now, earlier we talked about the alter ego, but when you're meeting and talking with people, I get it. It can be nerve-wracking, especially when you don't know them. You have no idea how this person's going to react. Well, here's the trick. You want to assume that they already like you. Treat people like their friends. Maybe it's a friend you can't remember their name, but assume that you've met this person before. And what's interesting is that people are going to most likely mirror the way that you are treating them. Now, don't overdo it. Don't be overly friendly, but actually say, hey, I'm going to like this person. And when you do this, you throw off the body language. You throw off everything that makes them want to actually come back with you. Oh yeah, I'm going to like this person, because people aren't really paying attention so much to what you're saying, but they are initially saying, how does this person make me feel? And if you assume that they're going to like you, you're going to basically behave in a way that they already do. And it's just like a reinforcing circle, if you can imagine that. Now, gents, if you're enjoying today's video, do me a favor and smash that like button. Don't damage your computer, but come on, hit that like button. It doesn't take a lot of effort. You could hit it, then unlike it, then like it again. When you guys interact with these videos, it helps them reach more people, and it helps me also determine, should I make more videos like this? Now, I get that last part may be hard, practice it, and that's another way, another trick I like to use, throwing off confidence, is to view these interactions, view this you getting up on stage, view this as an experiment. Just simply observe. Kind of almost remove yourself from your body. I know, kind of crazy, but look at yourself and observe how things are going. And you're taking out a bit of the emotion. Don't become a robot. But what you're doing here is you're saying, you know what, whether it's a win or a loss, whether I, fall flat on my face when I'm up there on stage, giving that presentation, giving that talk on Zoom, talking with these new people, I'm going to learn and take something from this. And it allows you to be able to experiment, try something different, have a different approach, and you may find something that works for you. But when you view it as an experiment, you're just collecting data. There is no win or loss. It's just simply something that you're trying. Now, gents, this is a style channel, and if I would have said the number one rule to looking confident is to dress well, many of you guys would have said, oh, that's what I expected. Well, here's the thing, is it definitely is in the top 5, because the way you dress, the way you present yourself, this is what people see. I know we live in a society that's saying, hey, don't judge a book by its cover. Look to what is in that person's heart. Look to who they are as a person. Yeah, 99% of people are going to judge the book by its cover, simply because we have to conserve our energy. We don't have time to actually spend 25 minutes to half an hour getting to know a person. No, we're going to look at them. Do they look like a success? Do they look like someone we want to interact with? Do they look like a threat? All of these things we're processing in mere seconds when we look at how a person is dressed. So if you dress better, and I'm not saying you got to wear a suit. I am saying, though, dress to the expectation that you want to be treated. If you want to be taken as an authority, well, a naked man runs in a room and he screams fire, people laugh at him. A fireman comes in and we immediately get out. They said the same thing, fire, but we take the one that looks like the authority figure seriously. Now, when it comes to style, do you need to spend a lot of money? If you spend more money on your clothing, on your look, on your image, on your haircut, are you going to feel more confident? Yes and no. You can spend very little and you can feel great about how you look if the clothing fits, if you know what looks good, if you put it together, but you can also spend a bit more money. And if this gives you the confidence, now of course you got to nail the style pyramid, fit, fabric, and function, but they have shown that when people spend good money, they invest in their look, in their image, they oftentimes feel more confident than if they went the cheaper route, especially when it comes to counterfeits, when it comes to other options. Let's take cologne and fragrance. This right here, Creed Aventus, one of the top men's fragrances out there, but you're going to spend close to $500 a bottle on this stuff. Now, do you need to do that? No, but what I'm not going to recommend is that you just go out there and grab a cologne. Now, if you already have a bottle of Creed Aventus and you just want this to last longer, you're going to wear this during the weekdays, great, because this EDMI Big Club Dinner Wheat Intense, man, this one, it has more longevity. But if you think that this is going to give you the same confidence as wearing the real thing, that's just not the case. At least the studies say that you're always going to feel like you're an imitation. So be careful about those imitation fragrances. That being said, do you need to spend $300-$400? No, you could spend $30 on a great fragrance right here. Antonio Banderas' Icon. This is a solid fragrance. Doesn't have much longevity, but it's an original. And when you wear something like this and you really like it, just simply practice wearing it. It's going to give you the confidence. And I do love scent as a way to be able to trigger confidence because it's something you can spray on. It's around you and you just get a whiff of it. You feel good. Now, what if you want to look more confident, but you don't want to be spraying anything on you? Well, in that case, take drugs. Specifically, morphine. What? Nope, just kidding. But exercise releases endorphins, very comparable to the effect that morphine would have on your body. So how does this make you more attractive? How does it make you feel more confident? Because when you've got those endorphins running through your body right after you spent time in the gym, especially when you exercise in the morning, you're going to have that high going for 4 to 8 hours, depending on the intensity of the workout and the type of the workout. Don't have time for a workout? What kind of excuse is that? Find time to work out. But no, seriously, if you've only got seconds, try this way to introduce good endorphins into the body. And that is force yourself to smile. Now, to come off as truly more confident, it has to be a real smile. And people can tell. And I find that the trick is just to think of something that makes you happy. I think of my daughter, Marina, and she just I'm just thinking about her. I get all excited because she's just so darn cute. She's got that little smile. And when she smiles back at me, I smile back at her. But here's the thing, is that people can tell when you're really smiling because it's the eyes. It's called a smize. Basically, your eyes, the way they're interacting with the face. Fake smiles don't work. But when you are smiling, all of a sudden your body starts to release certain endorphins. And on top of the endorphins, other hormones that are released are going to be serotonin and dopamine. Both of these, when you're having a genuine smile, you're smiling a lot, you're even laughing. All of a sudden, these are being released into the body and you are going to feel better and you're going to come off as more confident, as someone that looks, just simply people want to be around. Now, if all of this is way too much, you're like, Antonio, just slow down. Well, guess what? That's the next tip to look more confident is to slow down. The way that you're speaking, the way that you're talking and projecting your voice, be very clear, be direct, and don't be afraid of silence, of slowing things down. So many people are afraid to just simply have a little bit of quietness between people. And if you can maintain that, and it's not awkward to you, it's just simply it slowing down, all of a sudden that's going to come off as, wow, this guy, he's really sure of himself. What you want to avoid are throwing in the filler words. Like you're trying to push something in there. So when you slow down the conversation, all of a sudden your thoughts can catch up. You only want to say the things that you mean to say. And that's it. Now, how do you do that when you don't know everything? How can you say things with confidence? Well, one of the ways is simply to stay within your lane. You know a whole lot about photography, perhaps lighting. Maybe you're a computer expert. Well, don't go off on tangents about politics. If the conversation starts to go that way, then it's fine to simply step out of that conversation, not to add. And when people ask you to add something, say, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with actually being upfront that you don't know anything about this. That's a great question. I need to do more research, or I would love to learn. Listen to people. People love a great listener. And when you can listen and contribute in a way that is meaningful, you're not going to put your foot in your mouth. What is that old saying? Better to be silent and thoughtful than open your mouth and remove all doubt. I love that saying as a kid because it really just speaks to the point of talk about things that you know about, share that information, and then listen. You've got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Try to pick up other bits of information. And again, do not be afraid to let people know that you are clueless in this area. No, I don't know. And tied with that last one, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize for anything. You don't have to make excuses. Just simply, again, I talked about it a little bit earlier. Don't be afraid just to say what needs to be said. And that's it. Now, these next 3 are all about manners. And that is when you're speaking with somebody, maintain eye contact. If it's just you and another person, about half the time you want to be maintaining eye contact. Then it's okay to look away, nod your head like you're thinking. Practice this. A lot of people, they look down. You don't want to do that. That makes you look weak. Next up, when you meet somebody, put your hand out for a handshake. I know post-COVID, some people are careful about that. Do the fist bump, whatever it is. But if you're going to shake somebody's hand, make sure that you get a good handshake in. And if you mess it up, say, hey, let's do that again. You want to show that you can give a solid handshake. Now, this next one you can't always use, but it can be very powerful, especially if you're in a room with a lot of people. And that is whenever you're speaking, stand up. It's a small thing, and you can practice it maybe giving a toast at your small family gathering. When you stand up, you can project your voice stronger. People pay attention to you. All of a sudden, you're not having to speak over others because clearly you've taken the floor. If you're in a group, 25 people at work, and you're each saying something, don't be afraid to get up. And maybe you don't know everyone in here. You quickly introduce yourself. This is what I wanted to say. And then be seated. Not everyone does this. I see so many people, you can't even see the person, and they're trying to say something, and you've got people having backside conversations, not meaning to be rude, just simply they don't see the person. But when you show yourself, again, you can project your voice. It's a very powerful tool. I see a lot of people just missing and not using today. Now, if I had to boil it down to one rule, what would be my number one guideline to looking and feeling confident? For me, gentlemen, it is knowing who you are and knowing what you stand for, why you are here, what is your purpose. I know, high level, but when you know your core values, you know what your mission is in life, you know what you stand for, all of a sudden you've got a rock, you've got a foundation that everything can build off of. And if you don't know these things, you're going to find, especially later in life, you're going to have a crisis. You're all of a sudden going to realize you don't have a foundation. This house you've built is going to come crumbling down. So guys, really quick, down in the comments, I would love to hear from you. What are your core values? Who are you? What do you stand for? What's important to you? What is your mission in life? Guys, I know, big picture, take a few seconds. I want to hear from you guys down below. And guess what? I've got some great challenge coins I will send to people that put awesome answers. I've got a few dozen of these I will be sending out. I would love to send you one. Gents, I just want to hear down below who you are and what you stand for. All right, gents, so what video to watch next? How about the bad habits keeping men weak? Guys, if you're doing any of these, you need to stop. And I break it out here, and I have been guilty of having some of these habits. So guys, check out this video. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's a solid one. Bad habits that are holding you back. Yeah, you want to watch this one. Good one. Boom, right here.